This ain't no kind of lie. This ain't no kind. This ain't no kind. This ain't no kind. This ain't no kind.
It's time for Roundtable Rants from Texas, the only state operating in the black. Tonight's episode, Common Sense with Bryan Blue and co-host Jason Engelman and Olivia Thomas. Take it away, Bryan.
Okay, this topic is my pet peeve, and we're going to talk about common sense, or the lack of, if you will. It don't matter where you go in our society today or what you do, you always run into some knucklehead that's either cutting you off when they're driving or cutting in front of some sort of line. Or what about the guy in the movie theater that's like talking, behind your ear to his daughter or his wife about the movie, like narrating the whole entire movie? What's happened to common sense in our society?
There isn't any. And the other thing is it comes down to people they're selfish. They only care about themselves and their little circle and their galaxy. And there's nobody else in their galaxy.
That's not what I'm thinking of when I'm talking to the movie in the theater.
Well, what are you thinking of then? The lack of common sense you have?
Bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
Again, some of us, like Livy over here, lack common sense. Let's talk about beautiful women in our society. Let's just face it, a beautiful woman
is full of common sense.
No. She's actually full of a lot of hot air, but because she's hot, every guy will acknowledge her and say whatever he wants to say to make sure she's pleased.
And even if she says something stupid, he'll act like it was a genius remark. And be like, oh, you're so smart, and the girl just thinks she is and goes along with it.
What's wrong with that? You guys look like you're jealous, envious.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's right.
You're right.
See,
I'm right. I'm a genius.
Well,
Tell me again.
We already know that
beautiful. What?
We already know that we have common sense. We don't need someone else to stroke our ego.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's also you
well,
get
it's easier if you have it, though. I mean,
you get that with beautiful people. Well, let's talk about something that Warren Buffett said. Rich kids are just as worthless as homeless kids. They just live in a better environment. Think about that for a minute. And it's true. Like if you read the tabloids lately in the news, Cameron Douglas, he's been going to jail. He's been selling drugs to all of his friends and family. That kid don't have to do anything. I mean, that's a really rich family, a lineage family in the movie business, but yet he chooses to do drugs and live this lifestyle of some crazy player or some crazy person because he can, and that's more detrimental.
Well, I believe the reason why rich kids just, they don't realize that there's actually work being put into place to have those nice things. But the problem is the reason why they don't have any common sense is because they lack actual life experience.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's the way you get common sense. For instance, a kid sticks a finger in an electrical outlet. He gets shocked. He understands now that he shouldn't stick his finger because life experience creates and teaches common sense. And a lot of these rich kids have everything handed to them, so they don't actually have the ability to learn what common sense is and the importance of it.
I agree. I think the rebellious streak goes in line with that too. I mean, they have so much padding and cushion in their life that there is really no room for them to act out.
Wait a minute. Now you're talking rebellious. Let's just talk about the hustler for a minute. The hustler, yeah, daddy. The hustler over here has a lot of common sense. He's grown up in that environment where he's got a lot of scars and battle wounds.
A lot of street experience, a lot of street smart.
That guy usually knows how to make a buck.
A lot more worldly.
She's a hustler. Look at that face over there.
What are you trying to say?
I know you got the skill.
I'm not a hustler. I'm an opportunist.
Okay, so if you have the opportunity to meet some real rich guy, he's in a bar, you know he's loaded, how do you approach that guy? Because we know you're a hustler. You wouldn't really care. He could be an old gray-haired guy. Don't matter. I know you. How would you approach him? Let's hear it.
Would you like to buy some chocolate for me today?
One group of people that lack common sense, it seems like, is the academic smart people.
Yeah.
The intellect scholars. They don't, they'll know how to read Greek and write in Hebrew and all that, but they couldn't tell you.
That's true.
To some extent.
Now, Olivia, you don't have to worry about this, okay? We're not talking about you in this case, okay? We're talking about someone that's actually got some brains. Anyways, but I agree with that. Most people that are academically smart, they're so busy thinking about all the details to this, universe that they overlook the simplicity in life.
Sure.
I mean, imagine that guy, going into a bar trying to hit on a woman. As a matter of fact, I don't have to imagine it. Jason, give me a line real quick.
I don't know. Those kind of people work off of memory. So if you scripted out how to get rejected, he can tell us right now. What was the first part of that?
I don't remember. Anyways, I don't have that kind of intellect.
That's true. And, I'll tell you who else doesn't is artists, like guys that play music and paint. I mean, they're like idiot savants. They can draw portraits of people and make beautiful music, but if you ask them, hey man, what's 2 minus 2? They just look at you like they're stupid. Like, what is that?
High IQ, but very little people skills or common sense or practical knowledge, day-to-day experiences.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't know. What's the most
group?
asinine thing that you could think of that has ever happened to you where you had to deal with someone that didn't have common sense? Is there one single thing that stands
Once
out?
upon a time, I was on this show with two. No, I'm just kidding.
Funny. Whatever. Have you ever been around somebody that is building a house or working on something and they ask you for, like, give me that hammer over there, and you hand them a hammer, but they're really thinking a drill in their mind, and you give them the hammer and they're mad at you and they go, I said a drill. I said, no, you said a hammer. No, I said a drill. You ever had that kind of personality?
It sounds so real to you. It sounds like it just happened recently or
Yeah,
something.
you like having a flashback?
It does. Yeah, it does. But the reality is I'm that guy. Like, I don't care what people say. I never, ever
Make a
am in
mistake.
the wrong.
Yeah, you're always right.
We know.
Yeah, I'm never in the
You
wrong.
don't hear
We
yourself
experience
do
that on
If
a
I said
weekly
hammer,
basis.
it's your job to realize that I meant drill.
Right.
Bottom line. If I say blue,
What you mean you don't have telepathy, motherfucker?
We're supposed to read minds over here,
yeah, no. If I was to read that mind over there, dude, I'd need a lot of help. Don't you have that 2 o'clock available?
2 o'clock, yes.
I
believe
need it
it's
more than
free.
all of us.
Yeah,
Right.
you need a lot of help, no doubt. Do animal owners have common sense? Think about that for a minute. I mean, they walk their dogs on the sidewalks and let them shit everywhere and they'll pick it up. I'm like, dude, I'm going to step in that dog
Depends
shit.
on what kind of animal.
And if
owner
I
you
step on
are.
that dog shit and you're in front of me, I'm going to kick your ass.
I don't know what.
I am.
Have you
Fuck.
ever heard people talk to their pets? I mean,
Come here.
I know, and it's
baby.
like
I do
talking like
that.
an adult,
No, well, they can't respond like an adult rather than feel special because it really doesn't matter what you're saying if you're speaking that voice. You can be like, you fucking asshole just peed on my carpet. Come here. It doesn't matter.
Well,
So
here's-
it's good to talk to them in that voice.
Here's what I know about voices and common sense. The reality is a lot of people don't have common sense, and there's some people, the minority, that do. Here's what I've been told. If you start to talk to yourself and get in an argument with yourself, don't lose.
For more Roundtable rants and exclusive Bryan Blue stuff, go to bryanblue.com. Hey, until next time, get your dose of common sense. See you then.